Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we are starting a brand new series where we have a Shay here. We are going to be teaching him how to do a plant tissue culture. He's been doing a lot of work with fungi. I think it's time for him to get started in doing some plant tissue culture. So this is going to be the first video where we are going to be making a media host for houseplants. And later on, we're going to show him some techniques on how to sterilize some plants and use some meristems and so on, all the cool some of the fun tissue culture stuff. So, but today we are going to start by doing some plant tissue culture media. So let's get started. So let's grab our container. Here we have all our materials. We have a steel bar. We have some water, and you have already some experience on like making media. Like it is similar for making tissue culture media or making some fungi media, right? It's just a little bit more ingredients now than
definitely more ingredients.
More ingredients than with the fungi. So let's start by adding about 800 milliliters of water. This is just the still water. Going to take our scale and weigh both. Scale, weigh both, and you have your ingredients over there.
For make sure you guys wear gloves.
Yeah, let's wear some gloves.
Some of these ingredients can irritate the skin.
For sure.
So we got sugar.
Yeah, so let's start with sugar. So we're going to add 30 grams of sugar. So let's turn this on, make sure it's on 0. 30 grams.
Perfect.
There we go. So we have 30 grams. So let's turn on the magnetic stirrer. And let's add our sugar. And then now let's measure our media. So for our media, let's make sure it's on 0. For our media, let's measure 4.54 grams. So for MS media, this is the MS media from Plant Cell Technology. It has all the micros, macros, and all the vitamins necessary for the plants to grow. So let's add 4.54 grams. There we go. So 4.54 grams of MS media. Perfect. Next, we are going to add our plant growth regulator. So we have a BAP, and we are going to add 1 milliliter per liter. So I have my BAP. So let me do this first, and I'll pass this to you. So 1 milliliter. There you go. So 1 milliliter of BAP. Let's get a new tip. Next, we are going to add our ppm. We have the plant preservative mixture. So I'm going to open this up. And I'm going to add, same 1 milliliter. There we go. Okay. All right, so we have all our ingredients. Next, we are going to add the rest of our water to the 1000 milliliter mark. So let's turn the magnetic stirrer off. Get 1000 milliliters. Then turn it back on. All right, up next, we are going to calibrate the pH of our media, and this is something that you are pretty much new to this, right? Because on fungi, you don't calibrate the pH, right?
Nope.
So let's grab our pH meter. And let's grab some water from this, and let's just give it a quick rinse of the probe. So
Okay.
so let's check what the pH is, and let's some we have pH up and pH down. So I'm going to add a few drops of pH up because my media is quite acidic.
So I'm at 3.59 right now.
Yes, you need to get your pH between 5.6 and 5.8. So there you go. Add some of that. Oh, I went over 6. So I need to decrease the pH. So I need to add 1 drop of pH down.
Make sure you guys do this by drop. It's very sensitive.
Yes.
So we're at 5.56. That should do it. There we go.
There we go. That's good. All right. So now let's remove the probe, and before you put the cap on, let's give it another rinse with just some distilled water. All right. So our media is done. Now we have to pour it in our container. So let's grab our containers that we're going to be using. These are the round snap-on containers.
Make sure you guys clean as you go so you don't have a huge mess at the end.
All right, so let's add 100 milliliters to each of our containers. So we have a little beaker, and we're going to use this to measure exactly 100 milliliters into each of these containers. Great, excellent. So now that we have the media in the containers, we are going to add our gelling agent. So I give you, you have agar and I have a gelling gum. And the way we are going to do it is we have this measuring spoon. So for gelling gum, I use 1/8 of a teaspoon, which gives me the equivalent to around 3 to 4 grams per liter. And for agar, you have 1/4 of a teaspoon, which is going to give you roughly around 8 grams of agar per liter, which is exactly what we're looking for. So this method makes it a lot easier instead of adding like the 8 grams of agar directly into your cup, because when you're pouring, a lot of the times you end up with a lot of agar on some containers, and some will have a lot less, so the media is not going to be consistent. But doing this method, because we are measuring every single one, it makes the media a lot more consistent. So I just grab some like this, so make sure it's flush, and then I just add it directly into my cup. And this media is ready to go in the pressure cooker or autoclave. Now remember, when when autoclaving or pressure cooking your containers, make sure the lids are just on top of the container, but it's not sealed. Otherwise, if you seal the containers, when you take them out, the containers are going to shrink, which is something that you don't want. So this is pretty much everything on how to make a tissue culture media. This is a very simple process. What do you think?
Easy.
Pretty easy, right?
It's pretty much the same as fungi, except for having to measure the pH. With fungi, personally for me.
Yeah, and
do
just
like
a couple
water
more
and
ingredients, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was pretty simple. We are going to sterilize this media, and then on the next video we are going to introduce some plants into tissue culture.
Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you guys subscribe, come back for more content. We're gonna have a steady stream of educational videos for you guys that are very entry level. So if you're new to the channel, this is definitely for you. I'm new to plant tissue culture. I'm coming from fungi, but it's very easy, very entry level. Join us.
Yes. If you want to learn more about plant tissue culture, we also have the upcoming online tissue culture masterclass this May 11 and 12. So make sure to subscribe for the class. Watching the video. If you are enjoying these tissue culture videos, make sure to follow us on social media for more informative content. And if you are interested on conducting your own tissue culture experiments, make sure to check us out at plantsafetechnology.com for all the products you need to get started. Use code FP10 for 10% off on your first purchase.